One.
Welcome to the Global State Summit. I'm so glad you guys can all be here. What's everyone's names?
My name is Shah Abbas the Great. Nice to meet you.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
Queen
Queen Catherine.
Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth. Uh, who's the other two people?
I am King Philip II.
And I'm Akbar the Great.
Oh, okay. So where are you all from?
I'm the Queen of England.
I am from the Great Persian state.
Of course.
King
I'm
Philip?
from Russia.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm from Russia. I'm the
Interesting.
Queen of Russia.
Okay. What about you, King Philip?
I am from Spain.
Spain.
So
India.
Spain, India. Okay. So we came here to discuss one thing. What's the best way to rule? With fear or admiration? What would you say?
Admiration, of course.
I agree.
Definitely
Admiration.
Nah. What are y'all talking about? It's obviously fear.
Why
Fear?
fear?
What?
Because if you rule by fear, you can easily control everyone with your own ways.
Yes, but they can start a riot against you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
will rebel.
Exactly. They could
Not
rebel
if
and cut
you're
your head off.
strong. Because if your army is strong like mine is, then you will have complete control over everyone in your country and empire.
But then there's no peace in your kingdom.
What if your army goes against you and then captures you and then goes to the guillotine and then cuts your head off?
Well, I guess I'm dead then.
What a nice
Wait.
picture Shah Abbas has created for us
Okay.
here.
So who was that again? King? Was that
That
King
King
Philip?
Philip.
What are you the king of again?
Spain.
Oh,
Yeah.
sucks to be you.
Hey,
Anyways,
yo, what you mean, bruh?
okay,
Keep
this
it
is why.
classy.
This is
Admiration.
why. Okay, sorry.
Yes, Queen Catherine.
Yeah, sorry. This is why you shouldn't rule with fear. So my husband, he ruled with fear. We all hated him. He would abuse animals, he abused children, and he abused men. And one day we created a coup, which is a rebel against him with the government. And we threw him out, and I became queen. We locked him in a prison, and 6 months later, he mysteriously disappeared, which I had absolutely nothing to do with. And that could be you, King Philip. You could end up like him.
Yeah, I agree with Queen Catherine. My sister, Queen Mary, was the queen before me, and she murdered those who didn't let her go with her beliefs, and they decapitated her. So maybe ruling with fear isn't the best option.
What's your opinion, Emperor Akbar the Great?
That it's better to rule with admiration instead of fear.
What makes you say that?
Well, I ruled with admiration and it made me much closer to my people.
Okay.
Can you give us an example of how you did that?
Amen.
I considered everyone's religion and didn't, and for the most of its the population of the Mughal Empire was Hindu, but others were different religion, and I didn't force anyone to convert to Hindu. I let everyone have their own religion, and we all celebrated each religion.
Okay, so I guess that brings us to our next topic. Do you guys agree with having only one religion in your kingdom or as many as people want?
It's the people's choice. If they want to have one religion, go for it. But I won't judge their religion. I'm not like that.
Exactly. We modeled from the Ottomans. We respected the religions, and with it, there was peace within the citizens. And they call me Shah Abbas the Great for a reason, since before me, my whole empire was in chaos. And basically, right after I came to power, I reunited most of our lost territories. I built a larger army, and basically, I brought the golden age of my empire thanks to me. Shah Abbas the Great.
How long were you in your position of?
For over a decade.
Okay.
Only a decade? Wow. I've been ruling for about 30 years. I talked to a prophet and they said I died in 4 years, but I believe the prophet. and they said I died peacefully, and I can deal with that. As long as my kingdom is safe, I'm fine.
Interesting. And was there any instability in your kingdom?
Sometimes, well, I guess in the beginning there was, when I first overthrew my husband. I had to end the war that he created for absolutely no reason, and I had to fix it, make a treaty. And there was a time that Britain asked for my assistance, but I had to deny their request. I hope to mediate between the colonies and Britain, but I'm sorry, they wouldn't listen.
And what was one of your guys' empire's greatest legacies or stuff that they did that was cool?
Inoculations. So inoculations, we gave them an immunity to smallpox. I inoculated like about 20,000 people in my kingdom. So 20,000 people were saved.
Okay.
Mine was that the culture and artistic achievements, we made Iran a center of art, architecture, poetry, and philosophy. And with that, we influenced our neighbors in the region.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say kind of the same with Shah Abbas. I didn't do that many things during my time as queen, but there was definitely some art and literature that came during my time, like Shakespeare. But I was queen for 45 years, which is what England needed at the time. They needed stability.
What was
What about you,
going
King?
what was going on with England that before your rule?
We had a couple of queens and kings. Queen Mary definitely didn't leave the country at its best. They were ruled with fear. So we needed one person which they could count on and was close to the people.
Oh, so you were that solution.
Interesting.
King Philip.
He,
How do you rule with fear? What did you do?
what I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, I really just fight in many wars. Like one of my wars, like with the Ottoman Empire, we fought with their naval fleet. We actually won, which was very surprising, and that's one of our greatest feats. And we sort of just came into power of ruling in fear, controlling almost everyone in the empire.
So you were very controlling. If you're too controlling of your citizens, they'll rebel. I don't know how you've managed to last for this long, but soon enough, you might get decapitated.
What about your wife? What did she say about that? Like, big man.
I mean, I sort of just controlled myself. She didn't really interfere all that much. Plus,
Okay.
my empire was very religious because we believed that Catholics were more supreme. I ruled by divine rights.
Oh, supreme. But everyone should be given a choice of their religion.
Yeah,
Yes, I
exactly.
agree with that, but overall, Catholics are just higher ups. We believe in God more, and He shall receive.
Okay, so that's not as bad. Did you kill anyone who had a different religion, or were you
No,
just
not
kind of
really.
back? Okay, that's reasonable. I still believe admiration is the best way to go, of course.
I
Okay,
mean,
well,
that's why I ruled for like over 40 years.
okay. Well, talking about the fact that you kind of ruled and the queen kind of did nothing, King Philip, I guess I want to relate with Queen Catherine. I know for my personal experience, I did not want to get married because I didn't want to have a man in power. So, Queen Catherine, what are your thoughts on having women in power?
Yeah, I didn't want a husband either. I'm not even from Russia. My name isn't Catherine. I was given this name and I was married to King Philip. Not King Philip. I'm sorry. I was married to
Hey,
my husband, and my husband, I despised him.
Why did you marry
I
him?
I was forced to. It was an arranged marriage. I couldn't do anything about that. But I have a son now, and I trust him to be a good monarch. I taught him well. All right. What do you guys think about education? Were you focused on that, or were you just not that interested? King Philip.
Hey, yo, it's 11:35, but
Okay, so just end this.
Starting.
Okay, so for our next question, I
Okay.
would like to ask, what are your thoughts on education? What did you do to help, or what did you not do?
Well, my education was based on the arts and architecture, and our arts and architecture, well, it was basically advanced since most regions took inspiration from our things, and our students were very advanced in it. And well, in my opinion, my education was one of the strongest. And yeah,
in
We
my
focus on
education, it
art.
was more of a church school, so we focused more on Christianity than actual education and arts.
weren't you made king by religion?
I mean, it was heredity, so I inherited from my father.
So basically, okay.
Okay. Well, I definitely thought strongly about education, made sure every child had what they needed. When I was a child, I learned how to speak fluently in languages and studied philosophy, math, literature, and geometry.
All right. What about the other kings and queens?
So I really just focus academically. I don't know why you guys focus on religion and art as much, but academic was the way to go. We needed to advance technologies, and well, because of that research, I got to inoculate so many Russians. They were basically cured from smallpox. So without that research, that education, so many people could have died. So why do you guys focus on religion and arts when you can focus on academics?
Well, we're not only focused on arts too. We also focus on architecture, which builds fascinating buildings all around my empire. So you know,
Hmm.
And
And
schools in my empire didn't really focus on religion. I organized an education in my empire, and I opened a large number of schools and colleges for both Muslims and Hindus, and treated all my subjects alike. The students would focus on the practical necessities of life and religion and views of life.
so leeching onto the perspectives of education, our knowledge of leaders. In my opinion, I feel like admiration is the best way to rule a full established empire. What's your opinions?
Education supposed to be role? Well,
What do you guys think is the best way to rule an empire?
admiration, of course, because fear is just too chaotic. The amount of rebellions that could start because of that, it's unbelievable.
Full on agree, because the peasants, or if you tax your citizens way too much, and if you do just fear, like implement fear into them, you're gonna get tired of it, and then rebel against you, and before you know it, you're dead and replaced.
Okay.
although I do agree with the fact that we can use admiration to establish a good enough country or empire, fear
Okay.
is definitely necessary in order to rule an actual strong empire. Because without fear, people are just gonna take you as a softie. Nobody's gonna want to like take you seriously. But with fear, you can easily conquer and easily just rule over the people.
Well, a lot of kings and queens ruled for 40 to 30 years with just admiration. So I don't think fear is the way to go. But a lot of kings and queens who rule with fear, they die pretty quickly because of the rebellion to start.
Well, that's all we have for today.
I'm so
Thank,
glad y'all came.
thank you for coming.
We'll see you on the next summit. When's that? In
Next month.
next month. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
See you guys.